Good evening, and welcome to the House Beyond the Supernatural podcast, the podcast that goes beyond the supernatural. All music comes from verse 13, Shadow Symphony, and Public Domain. All printing for the podcast is provided by Rainbow Press of Omaha, Nebraska. More details about this podcast can be found on houseofbts.net. Tonight's cast includes John, the genius and archaeologist, played by Arnie; Zia, the physical psychic and extreme athlete, played by myself, Shannon; and the host of the House of BTS as the Game Master.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the House Beyond the Supernatural podcast. I guess, like Shannon said, with her first introduction, at least in my game, I don't know if that's her first ever or not, but either way, it was her first with me. So as mentioned, Steve, the GM here, and over to my right is Arnie. And as you heard her lovely voice earlier, we have Shannon right here.
Hello.
And picking up, I didn't really have a lot of extra notes or write-ups for the second portion of all of this. And I didn't really write up much of a recap because I wasn't sure how far we're going to get tonight, because I don't want to go too far ahead without Nick or Kirk's character being a part of this. So it might be a shorter episode tonight, but we'll see what happens. But where we are going to pick off, if you remember, we last left off. Zia was going home for the night, as well as John was heading home for the night. And we are going to start with John in this case. John, actually, I don't know if anyone on the podcast, I'm not even sure if I've heard it yet. Where do you live in an apartment or a flat, or what do you live in currently?
I live in a motel.
A what?
I'm staying in a motel.
You're at a motel. All right. I did not ask this question before.
One with weekly or monthly rates.
That's the only way to do it if you're staying long term. I would
Doesn't
expect
need to
no
be a
less of John. John, unlocking your door and opening it. The door creates a crinkling sound as it slides over a white envelope.
I'm going to glance up and down the hall to make sure no one's watching me.
There's no one there in the hallway.
I'm going to go inside, step inside. I'm going to close the door. I'm going to lock the door. I'm going to double check to make all the shades are drawn tight. I'm going to find a pair of gloves. I'm going to get a lighter and a pen. Put them in my pockets. I'm going to pick up the envelope. I'm going to take it in the bathroom. There I'm going to close the bathroom door. Cover the mirror with a towel if there is a mirror in the room. Then I'm going to take that envelope and put it right up against the light so I can see through it. See if I can see if there's anything dangerous inside. Powder, anything weird.
Nothing of the sort.
All right, then I'll use the I'll open the envelope with a pen. Use the pen kind of as a letter opener.
And again, it's simply a plain white envelope about the size needed for mailing a greeting card. And opening it, inside of the envelope is indeed a greeting card. The cover of the card is a colorful, picturesque scene of a garden.
I'll open up the card.
There is only a line of letters inside the card. In this case, JEKAVMGDAAUNRCMYAJPGH. It's just a jumble of one line of letters.
Can I use cryptography to cryptography that right off my head?
You might be able to know what it is. Let's start with that, or what it's going to be asking for.
All right, let me roll a cryptography roll.
Let's see what you got. Since you don't have all the details with you, take a minus 10% off for the difficulty involved.
Oh, an +4.
That's
made it by about 35, 40 points.
By about 30 or 40 points. Well, this is impressive by anybody's standards, because you know just by looking at it alone. Just by looking at it, you know you won't be able to do anything with it for the moment, but
need the key.
You know you're specifically going to need a type of cipher, and you're going to need a keyword to be able to figure out what this is for. But so, in short, it is a secret message, but you don't have all the details yet.
All right, I'm going to.
But you suspect you're going to need the type of cipher you're going to be needing is one referred to as a tabula recta cipher. But you don't have all of the.
Nearly killed him.
And for tonight, that is all that letter contains. You can thoroughly examine it all you like, but otherwise it is a greeting card with nothing written inside of it beyond the strange line of letters you have.
All right, I'm going to commit it to memory. I'm going to burn the card in the envelope carefully in the bathroom sink. Then I'm going to shower. I'm going to clean my gear, find out what's broken, what's not. I'm going to make a checklist of what I need to replace. I'm going to set my clothing out for the next day. Something unremarkable and concealing, and then I'll go to sleep.
Which means we can fast forward into the next day. So, John, it is almost noon when you wake up and you have finished with your morning rituals. What is the first thing you are going to do with your day?
Well, I have to get up before noon. This is going to take a little bit more time. I'm going to get up and I'm going to make some coffee and get dressed. I'm going to check my various email accounts, check my telephones, see if any of them have messages. I'm going to grab the normal backpack I'd carry and make sure it's got an extra hoodie and a different hat in it, in addition to my normal gear. Then I'll head out by bus, taking an indirect route, maybe one or two different routes. I'll head to the flower vendor stand in Pike Place Market, changing my hoodie at one point in the trip.
After taking your last bus stop, you are standing outside the Pike Place Market. The market is hopping already. Fish are being thrown around with the customers. The many stalls, kiosks, and vendors of every kind are conversing and selling to customers. The original Starbucks, and I'm talking the original Starbucks, is across the street, and it has a line out the door, even though it's nearly 1 p.m. You make your way through the crowds until you're at the flower shop. There's one customer in the shop, and she is ordering flowers with the florist who's putting together a bouquet for her.
All right, so after the last customer leaves, I'll approach the counselor, and I'll say the following.
Counselor?
The counter. Did I say counselor?
You said counselor. I approached the counselor. It's like, this is not a court of law, my friend. This is simply a flower shop. You're having a weird flashback.
If the glove does not fit, you must acquit. I'll say, necesito un jardín escénico para mi madre. I said, I need a scenic garden for my mother.
In what language?
That would be Spanish.
That's what I was wondering.
Terrible Spanish.
You know what? Like I said, dignity has nothing to do with this table. It was a good try. I'm giving experience all the same for the effort. The florist says nothing in response, but puts together a bouquet of 7 roses and 5 violets. Ringing you up at the counter, she hands you a small alternative newspaper titled Best Buds and says, you should take a look through this. It's a local Seattle newspaper for the cannabis community. This issue just came out today.
I'll say, gracias. I'll give her a wink, and then I'm going to walk towards the burger joint. It's in a building across the street, 2nd floor. I'm going to keep my eye out for my drop.
All right. I'm assuming when you get there, then you would perhaps maybe like to take a booth in the back of the room, act as if you're expecting company, maybe? Or how are you feeling this out?
No, on the way there, I'm going to find the person in the wheelchair. I think that's what I'm looking for.
Ah, yes. You can hand off, you'll be able to hand off flowers to an elderly lady in a wheelchair as you walk past her. And what do you say to this nice elderly woman?
I say, have a nice day.
And then you can make your way to the restaurant. Got it.
Once I get to the restaurant, I'll request a booth in the back of the place where my back's against the wall and I can see what's going on.
The server takes you to a booth against the back wall.
I'll take a seat and open up that issue of Best Bugs.
Buds. Not Best Bugs. That's a very different issue, and you wouldn't want that in a cannabis magazine.
Quit taking the steam out of my sails.
I'm not trying to take the steam out. I'm just trying to make it.
Damn it! If I'm going to read about bugs, I'm going to read about fucking bugs.
I didn't know you brought that magazine. To my knowledge, it was Best Buds you have on hand. I didn't know about the bugs.
Well, I'll put that issue away and I'll pull up Best Buds.
Man.
There was an article I really wanted to read.
Well, I get it. Bugs are fascinating. I understand.
I got a little bit of time. So I'll pull out my issue of Best Bugs and flip it to, say page 7.
Oh, man. Opening newspaper to page 7. This page is full of classified ads.
I'll scroll down to the 5th ad.
Looking at the 5th ad, this ad is strange and only contains one sentence, and it reads, "My gardens are pretty today." So, for example, if you were to take the first letter of the ciphertext, which is J, you would look at the J on the cipher, which would be the row at the top, and then you would scroll down. Once you find J, you would scroll down until you found the first letter of the cipher sentence, which is the letter M. From there, looking to the left of the letter M, you'll see that this row corresponds with the letter D. Did you follow with me, Shannon?
No.
Well, it doesn't matter because you don't have to decode it.
Well, let me take a look at it.
Next time next time we'll know what we're doing. I'll send you a script ahead of time, but I'll be much more cryptic about where you're going.
I have a 13 IQ. That's my excuse.
That's 130, not 13. Good lord. No, I mean 13 IQ.
The letters look really pretty.
They curl and turn. So, the first letter of the plain text would be D. Simply, and basically you would continue doing this until you would have decoded all 23 letters. You know how these work?
I've never
So again,
seen it before.
Oh, yeah, no, they're actually pretty easy to use. So, for example, you would look for the J up top, and then you would go down that list until you got to the first letter of your cipher sentence, which is the word M. So you would go down to M.
I was doing it backwards.
M, and then once you found here it is J to M, and then you would follow the M over to here, which means the actual letter is D. That's how these work.
I got it. Super smart.
I'm a sucker for riddle solvings and puzzles and things. So I'm going to start making you guys suffer this stuff now. But you guys wanted more challenges and intricate ways of doing this. I'm going to do so. Point is, and then I'll treat this then. All right, here we go, Nick. You can, I don't know, edit or not. So once you have finished with your cipher work, you will have a message that says Duwamish Park Bench at 4. What this message provides instructions for a meeting later today. In the meantime, as mentioned, you have finished your lunch. You can go about your business.
I'm just going to take the rest afternoon to get to Duwamish Park.
Duwamish.
I believe it's pronounced Duwamish.
It could be. I am no expert on
pronunciation
of various.
I don't remember how Alice Cooper put that on Wade's
Yeah.
World.
Oh, yeah. Because it was pronounced. Oh, yeah. How did he say it? Yeah, he was up in Milwaukee. It was pronounced Milwaukee, meaning the good land. Because Alice Cooper was so studly. Milwaukee. I've never forgot that because of that Alice Cooper bit. Because Alice is a stud like that. As a matter of fact, I heard Poison on the news the other day, and I was like, man, I really miss Alice Cooper. His songs, man, they were so much fun. Missed the man. But anyway, haven't listened to him in forever. Getting back to it then. So you have your sentence. What it was asking for. You're to meet at a Duwamish Park bench at 4:00.
So I'm going to take the next couple hours, buses, walking, make my indirect way to Duwamish Park.
It is almost 4:00 when your bus drops you off in front of Duwamish Park. Lots of trees and shrubberies and gardens can be seen. There are several park benches to be found. All of them are placed back to back of each other.
I'll head towards the benches.
Most of the benches are empty, all except for one. A man in his 50s wearing a gray raincoat sits on a bench. In his hands is a copy of the Best Buds magazine. He holds it up to his face as he reads.
I'll sit on the park bench that's opposite of that guy, the one behind him, since they're, back to back, right?
Yes, they are back to back.
Then I'll open up my copy of Best Buds, and I'll hold it up like I'm reading it.
With his newspaper up, the man says, "Your daytime job?"
Active. Phase 1 complete.
"Your nighttime job?"
Active.
"Do they suspect anything?"
No, they don't suspect the truth. Just what I want them to suspect.
"If they do, are they containable?"
Yeah, sure. But they're useful until then.
"Should they suspect you, can you contain them?"
Well, I don't know. Probably, maybe. I mean, indirectly. I mean, they're not a problem. They're a decent bunch, and I don't do wet work.
Anything else to add?
There's a medium, shows potential. Might be worth extracting.
Noted. Anything else?
There's a third player. Black tactical deer. Submachine gun type people. Blew up a boat. You know anything about it?
You knew about the yacht being set on fire. I have no further details as to who or what would have started it.
You sure?
But I will look into it. Be on the lookout for another message.
Oh, I will, and maybe next time don't wear something so cliche.
It's Seattle. It rains here.
You look like a spook.
Fine. Before I go, I want to remind you to proceed with extreme caution. We lost another one while doing her daytime job. And after I leave, wait 5 minutes and then check the trash can.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about me.
Then, the man stands up, throws the newspaper in a nearby trash can, and leaves the park.
I'll wait about 5 minutes till after he leaves. Then I'll run a rubber glove, reach in the trash can, pass the newspaper in there, and look for something else. Maybe an envelope?
There is a brown clasp envelope in the bottom of the can.
That looks like it. And I'll grab that. I'll go home indirectly by foot, various buses, change my clothes once on the way back, switch hoodies,
and I will leave it
home.
I'll leave it to John if he cares to tell what's in the envelope, but I don't suspect he will.
Not at this time. It's on a need-to-know basis. And Kirk doesn't need to know.
Really? Any more than Dr. Corrigan. All right. Zia.
What up?
Your morning rituals, what would they encompass for Zia?
It's pretty basic. She'll take a shower if she feels like she needs one. You know, brush teeth, slick the hair back, have some protein, eggs or something.
Eggs or something, got it.
Eggs or something. And then she generally throws on workout clothes pretty much. Unless she has somewhere special to be.
And I suspect Zia has all sorts of, has a probably serious workout regime, before she, probably early in the, well, not early, I don't know what Zia would consider early, but I suspect you probably got a couple of workout rituals and such you like to get early on in the day. What would those probably entail, do you think, Zia?
Weightlifting and shit. Joke. I'm pretty sure that she has, a whole gym in her flat. All she really needs is a bed. So she, do whatever you do when you weightlift.
She sleeps and she works out. And shit.
Yeah, and shit. When you're working out, it loosens up those bowels.
Those big creatine shits.
Oh, man.
Thought we were squeezing shit out of her ass.
Oh, my Lord. Way to keep it family friendly, Zia.
I like the parental advisory sticker.
I laugh at your advisory sticker. I laugh maniacally.
Yeah, okay, so there's not a lot of cardio. It's a lot of weight training.
Yeah, I think memory serves. Some of your skills over there include. I think you had bodybuilding, body sculpting. I think you've been taking ballet and boxing. I think you were a hobbyist climber. You've got all sorts. Yeah, I think gymnastics is in there. You've got a whole plethora, if you will, a cornucopia of various physical activity.
She does whatever floats her boat that day.
Because she's got plenty of options.
Yeah.
For the sake of time, again, we'll get away from the weird time tangent that The Rock might do with how he eats. Although I remember The Rock once upon a time saying, life's too short. If you want a donut, have a donut. I was like, of course, he doesn't add on the fact if you don't work out 6 hours a day like he does, a donut's a very different thing. Just throwing that out there. Coincidentally, I haven't had a donut since my gallbladder surgery. Because the more greasy, fattier something is, the more the enemy it is to me now. So my diet has vastly improved in recent months. Shannon,
I have some tofurkey down here if you want it.
Man. Shannon, I don't know if you heard that story about my gallbladder and I. We separated. We filed for divorce. We weren't getting along anymore. We had different things we wanted in life. And frankly, Mr. Gall, he was getting toxic to our relationship. So
have you seen the awkward Yeti, where the gallbladder's like, I baked these?
Yes, I think I posted that on my Facebook page at one point. I baked these. You made stones? Get out of here! Just this broken-hearted looking gallbladder, but I baked these. I almost felt kind of bad. I kicked him out after reading that. Because, Anyway. So, yeah, I have not had a donut, and I really wish I had, because, I like a donut on occasion, but they're now especially the enemy to me these days. May never have one again, I don't know. But you guys don't care, it's all about you guys.
Yep.
And I appreciate your brute honesty, Shannon. I know I can count on you for that. Well, you can pick and choose a few of your workout regimens that you need to do for the day, and finishing up showering, toweling off, or what have you, from one of your rigorous physical activities of the day. And I'm sure you've stretched plenty, because Zia, I'm sure, knows to stretch before engaging in rigorous physical activities. Mm-hmm. You'll have a text. Specifically, it is from your. It's from Elena, your agent, stating that she wants you to. She has a phone number she wants you to call and to get in contact with somebody when you have a moment. Concerning the society is how she writes it.
What time are we at in the morning?
Oh, we're probably going to be well into the afternoon at this point. If you're doing the kind of workouts you say you are, it's a 4 or 5 to 6 hour rock style regimen.
I'll just call it right now.
Somewhere. Or a big greasy burger. Because the carbs are what keeps you going.
Mm-hmm. I will dial up that number without even responding to her. Right down to business.
Couple of rings, and you get a response. This is Dr. Smythe.
Hello. I was told to call number from friend. This is getting really bad.
Keep practicing, you'll get there.
I am Zia Petrov. I was told to call you by my friend Elena.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for calling me back. Are you free this afternoon?
I have no plans.
Your timing or your calling is actually impeccable. It's my understanding. Well, we probably shouldn't talk anymore about it over the phone. Let me give you the address to the warehouse. I would love to talk to you in person. Smythe, in his elderly innocence, would not realize how creepy that probably comes off sounding. Because I didn't hear it until I said it out loud. Yeah, witch doctor. Yeah, I know. I assure you that nothing's hinky when I say that. I'm like,
Well, then when they say that's even worse.
You know you can try. I asked Dr. Smythe. He said he didn't do it. And I believe him.
She'll take down the address.
If anything, I think, Dr. Smythe has far more to fear from her than she does him.
You better tell a friend before you go there.
Let Elena know where you're going.
I'm not too worried. You saw me take down the eyeball thing.
She just took down, a giant scorpion horse monster last night. I don't think this 60-some-odd-year-old dude's gonna be, be much of a threat to her. Or is he?
Would she, make you cry or something if she, went psychotic and just, bashed his head in when she met him? Killed Dr. Smee live on air forever.
I would be rather dismayed, especially without a reasonable provocation. It would kind of
fight that tooth and nail.
It would kind of, well, no, I mean, I can't fight it per se, but I would ask, I would question, reasons and alignments and stuff. I mean, if you had a valid reason for it beyond the
dirty
fact that
talk on phone is not good.
I only came here to crush you.
Mix it with a little steroid-induced PCP.
Zia goes on a roid rage, angry at this angry old guy coming on to her on the phone. And thus ended violently the end of Dr. Smythe. I would be pretty dismayed if you, Smythe has been around a long time. He knows a lot. I don't know what you guys would do without him. Who the hell would man the society now in Seattle?
Dr. Baldwin would.
That's all we need. Dr. Baldwin running the society. I don't know. Dr. Baldwin would talk to her once, and he would probably end up as dead as Smythe, from what I remember his conversations. Dr. Baldwin might get a cameo or two in my game, coincidentally, someday, and hopefully you guys won't find out what I'm talking about, because Baldwin's got a mouth. And no filter whatsoever. But he's awesome.
I forgot
like
to pull my punch.
Yeah, I did teach you how to pull your punch over there, so remember, you have that. Where were we?
She was just propositioned by a dirty old man.
Yeah. Accidentally, it sounded creepier than it was really supposed to, and Dr. Smythe apologizes again sincerely that that was not intended to come out the way it sounded. But as your timing would be impeccable. If you have a moment, I would like to talk to you.
Give me address. I'll be there prompt.
And he does. He gives you the address. You can Google it. It's going to be taking you to an industrial section of the city, which is kind of odd. Amongst all the, basically, you're in a warehouse district, and one of them there is no real signs or anything out front of it. And I know the more I say this, the worse it's sounding.
Bunch of warning signs.
Every warning sign is telling you to run, Zia, as I'm telling this now.
Red flags everywhere.
But Zia is, I'm hoping, braver than because you're right. If this was me, I might have turned around already.
Onward, comrade.
This definitely sounds like some sort of, Eastern European sex trafficking thing going on. The next thing she knows, she's going to be swooped up inside of a van and flown off to Abu Arabia, and it's going to be bad. I've seen those movies. She's going to have Steven Seagal come rescue her.
Hostel Part 3. The Revenge of Dr. Smythe.
I didn't even think of that aspect.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was going to take him over to Europe. I'm like, oh, whoa, Hostel. What the hell?
Halloween episode.
Yeah, Halloween is coming, folks. Oh, it's going to get gory. So, ignoring all the red flags, takes you. You were pulling into the parking lot of a warehouse. Yeah, oh my God. Anyway, I'm saying this, it doesn't sound right anymore. Thank you, Arnie. You totally took all the innocence out of where I was going with this. This is why I try to script more of my stuff, folks. Because then this happens. We're a bunch of chuckleheads getting nowhere.
Sober tonight.
We're sober, sending Zia to her doom as she ignores all the signs. Towards the end of the movie, she'll start lamenting her life decisions, and then she hits that critical point if she's going to be a survivor or a victim. We've all seen those movies. There are a pair of vehicles in the parking lot. One of them looks like it'd be an expensive Chrysler. No, it's an Audi, a very pricey looking Audi of some kind. Where the other one looks to be almost it's almost like almost vintage at this point, like a '90s Dodge Neon with kind of an aqua blue color to it.
You sure it's not like a cargo van with no windows?
It is a van that says free candy on the side. You can trust this guy. He's giving free candy.
I love candy.
Ooh, piece of candy. Still one of the best Family Guy bits ever. Ooh, piece of candy.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah, now that you thoroughly ruined the moment.
You might want to consider meeting at a coffee place somewhere public.
Well, she said she's coming, so he's expecting her now. Until she calls back and says otherwise, I'm assuming she's going to the scary, nameless warehouse with fancy car and the vintage Dodge Neon car.
She's going. No fear.
I admire your bravery, Zia. In fact, I might even make a note here for a little extra experience for sheer bravery. One door, a couple of steps. There is a door. It is unlocked when you try it.
Go in.
I know Arnie's heard this before, but you have not heard this, Shannon. So you get the quick rigmarole. What you find inside, it is a 3,700 square foot ground level area, serves as a main storage area of the warehouse. But what you find interesting about it, let's see here. 2 bathrooms to the left of the rolled up doors for the loading docks. Staircase allows entrance to a second floor with additional floor entry towards the rear. This area offers, from what you can tell, there are mats for unarmed combat. There are target areas for a shooting range. There seems to be several bookshelves in the back. Up front by where you're at, there are couches and chairs around a large coffee table. There are a couple of file cabinets placed around the said spot. Just all sorts of strange equipment and whatnot is located about. And parked by one of the rolling bay doors is one of those. It would be called a. Kind of one of those large Dodge Sprinter vans, you know what I'm talking about, kind of has the 6-foot tall roof. Yeah, not at all ominous. There's no way he would kidnap you and take you anywhere in that.
He's holding up the picture of this big black cargo van with no windows.
A big black, no markings, black van. Looks completely harmless and totally trustworthy. There's no way anyone would just get kidnapped and thrown into the back of one of those and taken to parts unknown. Hostile Part 3 awaits. On the second floor, kind of giving you an idea of the picture. Second floor is only about half there. There's kind of there's kind of like a rail. You take up a set of stairs. There's like a half rail that would take you halfway around the building. It looks like you can kind of see some doors and such. You would suspect those would be offices. From one of the doors, a gal opens the door and steps out onto the railing. She is dressed in what would basically be described as, in your case, would be American pent-up model vintage would be the way of describing what she looks like. And she's got it looks like she's holding some files in her hands. It looks like she's kind of poring over some things, making some notes. And when she looks down at you, with kind of a with kind of a shy smile, not realizing that somebody had walked in, she's hi, you must be Zia?
I am looking for Dr. Smythe.
She says, you're in the right place. Come on up. I'll take you to his office.
I follow her. Did I get her name?
You did not, and I was reminding myself of what it is now. It's been a while since I've looked at these. The joys of being sick and missing a week or two of all this crap is you tend to forget everything. Yeah, her name. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. My name's Kendra. I'm Dr. Smythe's assistant.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, you as well. And she's, wow, that's a hell of a handshake you got there.
Thanks.
That was very thought-provoking, Zia. Thank you. If you want to go for the extra experience, you throw out a da here and there.
I didn't want to be an asshole to her. She's nice.
Yeah, she certainly wouldn't be the one kidnapping you. She's the one who makes the arrangements to the East German men who would take you to their killing lair.
Sexy.
Nothing but the best for you, Zia.
Da.
Beautiful. I'm thinking in a moment we can probably. I would suspect at some point, John, you're probably going to want to come in and ask about your situation update too. So I should probably get you in here in a second.
Like being in the family way.
Well, you're in a certain predicament, man. He was going to promise you an answer at some point tomorrow. Which would not be today. This would probably be your way into all this. So I'll have you show up.
Well, that sounds like a good time for me to show up.
Yes, it does.
I'll arrive by my rental car.
What kind of a rental car would John drive? Now I'm curious.
You know, I might know exactly what kind of rental, but I really didn't put a whole lot of thought into the rental car.
That's based on what you would tell me. I would imagine something cheap is what I would.
Yeah, more than likely. You know, I might have it written down here somewhere. Trunk of his rental car.
That sounds pretty ominous. Apparently, he's the one you got to look out for.
Well, I was just thinking about that, looking through. Like,
I'm gonna. Contents the trunk of my car will now include Zia.
the contents, like duct tape, utility blades, zip ties.
Get the trunk, I'll cut you!
No, I never wrote it down. It would be an economy, something with a trunk. I got that. That seems familiar. I got that written down somewhere. It had to have a trunk, a good sized trunk.
Something economy with a good sized trunk. Fair enough. Probably
not
like
something not standouty.
Oh yeah. I can't imagine John Ware doing anything flashy. But yeah, this would probably be a great time for them to walk in the door as well, which both of you would hear the door at the on the first floor open up. There is new vehicle. There was a new vehicle in the parking lot today when you would show up today, John. What kind of vehicle does Zia drive?
A sweet Fiat.
She drives a Fiat. This giant woman driving a Fiat. It's got to be a cramped vehicle.
I'll make sure to nonchalantly snap a picture of that license plate.
And
tie my shoe or something.
Looking over your broad shoulder, as Kendra looks down at the first floor. Oh, John, come on up.
I'll lock the door on my way in because I don't like the idea of that door being unlocked. There's something wrong with that.
That's a good point.
I should get a key. All right, I'll go ahead. Hey, Doc.
Oh, Doc.
Sorry, Head.
Kendra is Kendra and a really tall,
where's the
muscular
doctor?
gal you haven't seen before. Is at the top of the is at the top of the stairs currently. So Kendra.
Oh, am I interrupting something?
Oh no!
Good. I'm gonna head upstairs.
And Just going right past. All right. Fair enough. Ken says, well, we'll just follow him. He's going to.
Follow me, guys.
Well, that means you'll be in first, and Dr. Smythe, you hear him on the phone. Looks like he's speaking. Honestly, it's a foreign language. And I don't know if it's one that you know.
I'll turn around and I'll say, "Keep it down, guys. He's on the phone." I don't know it. I don't actually know any other.
Oh, well then never mind. I could be saying Swahili right now. You wouldn't know. All right.
I know Russian.
He is not speaking Russian.
I feel bad that I said that. Edit that out so Kirk doesn't hear it.
Yeah, Kirk did not hear that. Nick, go ahead and edit so Kirk does not hear that.
I mean, put this in its place. Well, I speak 17 languages fluently.
And that's before breakfast. Looking at you, he kind of does one of these things. Offers you a chair as he stays on the phone, as he continues on the phone, speaking in the strange language.
Zia will continue to stand.
Kendra,
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up my phone and check my emails. But what I'm really doing is recording.
Very nice. After about another minute and a half of conversation, I apologize. He's wonderful woman, but she's already got off the phone when she starts. Blah 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 blah. Continuing on in his foreign language. Another minute and a half later, he hangs up. I'm sorry about that. John, it's good to see you as always. And
pardon me, I didn't mean to be rude. Let me put away my phone, Edmund.
You must be Zia.
Yes, pleased to meet you.
He'll stand up to offer an elderly hand out the shake. You notice that he needs a cane to stand up.
She will gently shake his hand.
Yes. Thank you for being so considerate.
And then punch him in the nose.
Zia enters roid rage, kills Dr. Arnie, you had to give her the idea.
What would Famke do from GoldenEye? On the top. What was her name? Ivana on the top?
It's like Ivana on the top.
I wrap my thighs around his head and break his neck.
As visual as that is. Good Lord. So he, actually, Zia, feel free to have a chair, please. You're awfully tall.
I'm okay standing. More prepared.
Very well. John, I have some news.
I'm really sorry about freaking out the other night. I was pretty upset. Have you heard from any of the other people? Are they dead yet? I mean, are they dead?
I am sorry to say, I've not heard from anyone yet. I have sent out. I've got. Excuse me. I pulled a couple of strings, if you will. I got a few tracker friends of mine, looking to see if they can find where what's happened. But I have not heard from them since last night, and frankly, I'm growing concerned about them.
If I knew it wasn't completely unproductive, I'd volunteer that we go look for them right now. But since they're not going to show up, I won't.
Why don't you think they're going to show up, John? That sounds... What happened last night? You seemed awfully sketchy, not telling me everything that happened last night. Now I'm starting to get wondering.
I'm sorry, I picked up a small case of omniscience. It'll be over soon.
I'm suffering from selective memory loss right now. Yeah. I do have some good news for you. As mentioned last night, when after you explained, I sent out a description of the creatures that you had stated that you had confronted last night, and I did get a response from somebody who lives down in the Amazon basin.
Who would that be?
Well, it's an internet name, so I don't since we're working on the society, I don't have their direct name yet, but something Steel Magnolia fan 4278, whatever that means.
Nope, don't know them.
But anyway,
you want me to find out?
He said, "No, that won't be necessary. If all goes well, there. I'm trying to. Well, actually, I was just on the phone with somebody who represents him. I'm hoping I can get. I'm offering a plane ticket to get him up here. Which brings it back to the point. I have never heard of these creatures before, but apparently in the Quenchian language of the Peruvian jungles and in the surrounding areas, there is a creature there that is known as the children of Quama, or also known as Quama spawn, and that's Quhama. And according to the legend, and they'll tell it better than I do, I'm still waiting for an actual file or something to be sent to me, but it's apparently most of the info they have on these creatures is more myth and legend than anything else. It goes back to an Incan god cursing a woman who was desperate for children, but when she was actually blessed in bearing children, she became greedy and seduced the king's son or something at that point. As punishment, she was cursed into this monster that would forever want to impregnate. There's 4 or 5 different variants of the stories, but this sounds similar to what you're describing to me. Which, Zia, I'm trying to catch you up to speed here a little bit more. It seems we're gonna be in need of. Well, the long and short of it, I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. Zia, I feel so bad. You're just walking into the middle of a conversation. I apologize for that. All right, let me catch up back with you, John. The good news is,
Edmund, you shouldn't have. You got me that bodyguard I wanted. I was pleased to meet you. Hi, I'm John. You'll be following me around, watching my back.
Well, someone's going to have to watch your back.
In a manner of speaking, but the good news I have for you is as is usually the way, these creatures that you're stating that you've been, well, as the lady over the phone and online had put it, impregnated is the term that they use.
I'd rather we didn't talk about
wait.
That's a little uncomfortable.
Little man here is pregnant.
Perhaps an explanation is in order. John, would you like to describe what happened to you?
No, I don't. That's kind of private, Ed. A little flustered you brought it up.
I was just trying to catch you up on what, present company, but present company is probably going to want to hear this.
You're right, Edmund. You know best.
She's going to be your best help at getting rid of your impregnation.
You're right. You don't have to sell me.
I'm gonna elbow the secretary and be like, and I thought Chernobyl was bad. She's getting a kick out of this.
And Kendra, she chuckles right along with you.
So long story short, I was attacked by a silvery mermaid. Made contact just with my skin, not in a sexual way. There were no exchange of fluids, but it pierced me and maybe dropped some parasites or some eggs or something through the wounds, I guess. That's my theory.
Well,
doesn't feel right. It's very unnatural and quite uncomfortable to talk about, but if Dr. Smead thinks I should tell everybody, I'm going to do what he says because he knows the best.
Edmund, please, really.
Did it buy you dinner first?
What?
Did it buy you dinner first?
I wish. Actually, at the end, it was a little sad. It called out to me in this beautiful song that really just got me right here in my chest, and it did actually. I think there was something missed there.
This funny joke, right? This what you call haze?
What? Oh, yeah, of course. That's just a joke. That'd be silly if I was in love with a fish monster. That would just be weird. You're just fucking with you.
Right.
I'm sorry about the language, Doc.
Oh, we're all adults in this room.
So, does fish monster lay eggs and then you fuck them?
I no make fuck with fish face in the face. We make sex with fish face. No.
Okay, I listen.
No. There's nothing like that at all. He was strictly...
Smythe is probably blushing at this point, just not really sure how to respond.
Whoa, you better calm down. You need an aspirin or something?
This conversation's taking a strange turn. But
You don't smell toast or anything, right?
No.
You're just awfully flushed. Get worried about your blood pressure, Edmund.
It's gonna take more than that to put me down. I have not survived 40 years of dealing with the supernatural just to let something like that get me. Where was I? Oh, yes. No, there is good news to this. Is that one, you have time, as I had assumed.
Not much time.
They said debating on the nature of it. So usually you'll have at least a couple of days before they would reach full gestation.
A couple of days? It's already been half of that.
Then that means
Sorry.
we still have time, John.
Good.
That's what I'm trying to explain. And on the and even in better news, to be able to cure yourself of this, we'll refer to as an ailment for a lack of a better term right now, or if you wish to terminate this pregnancy, I guess.
How about a parasitic invade? I don't know.
Well, if you wish to be cured,
how about a parasite?
If you'd like to flush these parasites from your system, it can be done. There is a two-step process involved, and one of which you can start on right away. Which Zia now brings me to why I called you.
I do not have dewormers.
Oh no, you even better. It's my understanding that you single-handedly bested a malignus last night.
Wait, a what?
She'll just smile.
That malignus that we went out there to find?
Certainly. The way whatever happened with you, it seems you did not find it, but she went a different route, and it seems it found her. Is mine.
So you found a monster. I'm sorry. Please explain.
I was busy crushing Dutch woman.
Talk about sounding dirty. That's awesome. It was crushing Dutch woman. Oh no, Zia,
Apparently, it was hilarious.
Yeah, that was great. Completely took us all out of it, but granted, certainly, Zia, you are, your orientation is your own choice. Certainly,
I really like your
judge.
What orientation?
But what does that have to do with what we're talking about?
I assume she was talking about kicking somebody's ass, and she's laughing maniacally about it. I really enjoy her enthusiasm.
I was hearing a very different story, and I
In the
think she
circles
just
I
heard
run,
it too.
sometimes crushing refers to something else.
Oh no, I know. I heard it. I heard it when you said it. I was.
Anyway.
It wasn't until you lost it that I did. No, I heard it.
It's a culmination of everything. Okay.
So you wanted to try to start that again? All right, Nick. You can. Yeah, Nick, you can edit start here.
Oh no.
Okay. I was busy fighting a wrestling match, and my agent alerted me to something more fun. So I go to park, and it find me, and I kill it.
And John, since you've not dealt with a malignus before, I can state there that is not an easy creature for even coming in armed. They're no easy feats, but it's my understanding that you came at it not only really you basically physically grappled and went melee with it. Am I right with that?
Yes, it's no big deal.
Your agent was very expressive and overzealous in her statement of how you handled it, and I wasn't sure how much of it was fact from fiction. So I'd like to hear it from the source. And what happened?
I kill it. I kill it by stab it. I kill it by punch it. I kill it by super punch it.
I'm going to get on my phone. I'm going to look for like horrendous murders in the park.
Aren't you glad you didn't punch that homeless guy now? Because John had put 2 and 2 together on that one.
I'm just going to assume, you're mental. So
I also kick it. It explode. Bug goo good for skin.
Fascinating, but John has mentioned a malignant is no easy creature to take on in such a fashion, and she did it single-handedly, and her agent, if you had asked me to get in touch with her, and the timing is impeccable because, as fate would have it, if you're looking to get rid of this, if you're looking to flush the parasites, as it were, you're going to need to have a proverbial, have a bit of the proverbial hair of the dog that bit you. You're going to, in short, you're going to need to capture one of those alive and bring it in. Which, and from what I understand, we have an expert at grappling and tackling and restraining.
I would not want pregnant man doing too much.
Are you sure there's not like a broad spectrum antibiotic or, a delouser, I don't know, chlorine?
I mean, certainly you could try those if you'd like, but this is what they stated is what works. It is a supernatural creature.
Okay.
I can only assume these are supernatural. I'm sure just a simple
Sure. I mean,
if you will,
just 2 days ago, I didn't know silver mermen existed. So it's cool. So what happens when we catch one? What do we got to do?
Well, I have a friend. Dropping by with who's dropping by with a U-Haul, and inside of it's going to have a cage that once you capture it, you're to throw it in. It is a cage used for hunting sharks with, so it should be strong enough to keep this thing contained and bring it here.
Okay.
So right. Really, the mission is what it's going to come down to is that
No. I hate to interrupt you, but you said that I need the hair of the dog that bit you. So what happens when we get the merman here?
Well, once you caught the creature and bring it back, that's why I'm hoping by that point I'll have an answer on the person who's going to be able to help you with that. Will be flying her way here. Because apparently there's something of a ritual involved that will require the blood of this creature still living to be able to perform it.
Sure. Okay. We might want to get some like sound canceling earmuffs.
For what?
Like I said, I was telling you that whole siren type thing. I think we might want to not hear it singing because it was seductive. It was not seductive, but it was dangerous. All right, it was dangerous. Dangerous.
Understood. But for what it's worth, I did want to bring that up, and I'm glad you reminded me that that's actually to our benefit in this case, because as what I understand of these creatures and what you told of me just now and last night, this is going to make our job a lot easier, because it sounds like in the end, she, if for lack of a better term, I'm not sure what exactly we would consider the sex of this creature, if it even has one.
We don't need to talk
supernatural
about that.
does not. The point is, this creature, based on what you're describing to me, this creature will come to you. So that'll make our job far easier than expected.
I feel like a big worm on a little tiny hook.
I bet your mama must be damn proud of you.
I'll clap him on the shoulder and be like, I will protect you.
Good.
Bodyguard.
Good.
So in a roundabout way, yes, she will be acting as a bodyguard and will be helping you capture live bait. She will basically, you will be the live bait, she will be the one catching it.
From your lips to God's ears, Edmund.
I did not realize you were a spiritual man. Fascinating. I guess I didn't peg you as one.
Hopefully you won't be pegging me at all.
Right. Or was I? So Zia, Zia. Actually, I know this. This seems kind of this seems kind of an odd request to make of you. I don't know what your past experience is, but your agent assured me under no limited terms that you are more than capable for whatever it is that we would choose to have you go after. Has she referred to you are like Russian guided missile, just pointed at the monster and set it loose? Does that sound about accurate?
Let's go fishing.
Half hour later, truck arrives. As promised, back a U-Haul does have a shark cage in it.
I want to find a fishing hat as a joke you have to see.
As a joke you have to see. You're talking one of those fly hats that you keep all the hooks in.
Not a podcast joke. God damn it. I want her to be an asshole, but make a joke.
And you want to do that by getting a fisherman's cap?
Silently just have a fisherman's cap. Does Edmund have one in his office?
Probably not. Edmund does not look like he's much of a fisherman.
I might have one in my trunk.
No, Edmund does not have a fisherman's hat in his office.
I don't want you to get in my trunk.
Yeah, why don't you take a look in my trunk?
But I do have several various hats in my trunk.
Does this smell like chloroform to you?
Smells like sadness. I think my brain's going.
Well, it's been that kind of day for all of us. I understand.
All right,
and I've thrown a lot at you tonight already, so I completely understand. So we have the U-Haul, we have the shark tank or the shark cell in the back.
Is the plan for that to go into the water, or is that just to haul the fish person?
He states, unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave that at your discretion because I have no. It's heavy enough that it would take a couple of you to get it into the water, and then that would mean if you actually get the creature in it, you'd have to haul it out. So I suspect it might just be easier for you to grapple it into submission, as Elena said you are an expert at. And then, if you will, throwing it into the cage from there is how I suspect you'll do it. But as long as you keep it alive and hopefully in one piece to get it into the cage, how you choose to go about that is at your discretion.
Alrighty then.
I'm going to go to my trunk. I'm going to go pull out my wading boots. Put those on.
I forgot you have wading boots.
Get that orange reflective vest. Hard hat. Clipboard. And I'll check my various hats to see if I have a fishing hat. I'll put that on.
Did you have a hat in your list? If not, roll percentage. Now I'm curious.
I have several clothing items, hats, and mugs.
Make a percentage roll.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Well, I'll give you a 40 or lower. You definitely.
No, I don't have a fishing hat.
But really, why would you with the orange reflective? That makes no sense. I mean, wading boots maybe, but reflective orange vest, who'd have bought that? Just saying. Now you have something to add to your list later, and apparently you do too. We are in Seattle proper. There are plenty of fishing and sporting goods stores in the neighborhood. Should you choose to, or if you'd like to stop by and purchase a hat, of course.
Joke's over.
Well, some people really like grinding their jokes into the dirt, and maybe Zia is that kind of woman. I don't know.
Do you want us to list what we're taking with?
You know what? For the sake of for the sake of having it on the podcast, and since we're probably not going to have time to go wrestling tonight, it'd be good to get this stuff out of the way early. So next week we can go right into finding and hunting stuff down. So yes, I would love a list of the things that you're going to be carrying with you and how you're planning on doing it.
Obviously, I'll have my phone. I think I'm going to grab the gym bag, which has rope, water. I'm just going to take the rope, water, athletic tape, and the flashlight. And then, of course, I'll have my knife, and I want to take the truncheon. Truncheon?
Yeah, truncheon.
Truncheon.
Which, basically a wooden club, infamous with the Russian law enforcement.
So that is what I will take. I'll leave the lead pipe behind. Hopefully I don't regret that.
Well, you're supposed to try to bring it in alive, so I wouldn't get too creative on the weapon.
Yeah, but there might be more than one of them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You never know.
I forgot.
Obviously, John, this isn't his first rodeo. He's been with this GM enough to know that, what you come looking for is, you may find stuff while you're in the process. I'm not fooling John twice this night.
Let me show you to the armory here.
What are we looking at?
There's an armory.
It's a small armory, but certainly we have acquired some collective items over the years from confiscated from various. In other words, what you just described there to me looked like your left and your right armory.
Only armory I need.
Yeah, indeed. If you took down a malignus with your bare hands, I would agree with you.
I punched him in the eye.
I lost that shotgun there, but
I think that was the only one they had too. Huh?
So I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna look for a knife to replace mine, and a handgun or something.
Knives and handguns are pretty easy to come by in the armory. Those are what they confiscate the most. So there should be something equal, if not pretty similar too.
Yeah, we'll look for a.
Mine, they may not have been like oiled or cleaned in a while, depending how long they've been in there, but they should still fire. And
I would know the difference.
Yeah, as I say, it's not like you're not a weapons. You're not a weapon nut anyway. It should fire, is what I'm getting at.
Would my knife have sustained damage, or is that only with a critical hit?
Oh, specifically what I was referring to with that particular rule, and this works for pretty much anything. Every weapon you have, and I'd have to look up what page it is that goes into this, but the long and short of it, if you do enough damage with a particular weapon, and usually with most of them, it's 3 times the amount of the damage that it can do, or if it's like a high quality, a well-made weapon, Mastercraft can go up to like a ×5. But in this case, this is probably like a garden variety knife you picked up at a sporting goods store or wherever you might have gotten it from, which generally means unless there's something special about it, your knife, if it does more than ×3 the kind of damage that it can do, so I think this right now it's like a 1d6 +1 on its own. So it's just 7 × 3 is so if you happen to do like 22 points or more, you could potentially break your weapon, even though it does the full damage. You just might have just basically you put so much strength behind it, you break the weapon, you hit him with. Somebody who's as strong as you, especially when you get into like your supernatural damage range, since you have that as one of your abilities, that's when you can especially start, really busting up and breaking things. But that's also when you can do cool stuff like grabbing park benches or mailboxes and hitting things over the head with it and stuff like that. But there's only so much damage something can inflict before you end up actually breaking said item.
Okay.
Or like a fold-up chair. Wouldn't do a lot of damage, but they bust really easy when you're wrestling, and it looks cool doing it, so you do it. That's what I'm talking about. If you critical strike with a knife, potentially you could break it, I guess, or any weapon for that matter, depending on how much you do.
Okay.
And come to think of it, your damage alone is like, or your damage is like 13 just on your damage bonus alone. So with your knife, one really good swipe, you could, especially if you critical strike, more than likely you'll break it. It'll look cool doing it, though.
Then I just kick it.
A trench coat with a bunch of knives inside.
Hey, you want to buy a knife?
You're gonna go like machete.
The man with the gray with the the man with the like the raincoat going down the street looking all creepy. He's like, "Hey, you, Russian gal, want to buy a knife?"
I would think that's a flasher.
You would think until he. Yeah.
Dr. Smythe comes stumbling down the stairs in an oversized overcoat. Flashes it open. Knives everywhere, but he is naked. It's bold.
Hey, choose your weapon, darling. All of them pierce, I assure you.
Poor doctor.
No one's ever going to look at him the same way again. I try to keep him a respectable man, so thank you for that, Arnie. No one's ever going to look at him the same way now. Did you hear about that creepy dude in the warehouse and the non-marked vehicle? And he's now he's got things like a Shark Tank now. This dude's freaking crazy, man. We gotta call somebody. Jesus. All right, we probably have about another 10 minutes before we would put the show off, so I'm not sure how much further we're going to get within 10 minutes. So if there's any other bits or pieces you guys feel you need is pertinent to bring up now, if not, I might just be ending a little bit early because I don't want to suddenly diving into a crazy search and grab or whatever else may happen. This may even work out as far as the other two showing up next week. Yeah, actually, this
sounds like a good place to stop.
I'm thinking it's a great place because I'm thinking I can what I have in mind with the other two.
And I never say that role playing.
Never say what?
It sounds like a good place to stop.
Oh, well, it's just how I run my games, sir. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this 20-some years now. Anyway, all right, Nick, you can if you're editing, you can get us back out of that rant. Here we go. We're going to end it early for the night, everyone. We're going to pick up next week where I would expect and hope that both Kirk and Nick is back to our group. So the group of four can start figuring out, we'll start working as a team to, deal with this creature and figure out what else they're going to need to do thus far, as anyone knows, John doesn't know about them. They don't know about him. So next week there will be a lot of telling and talking, and more. Perhaps will it be more serenading of the fish monster and John? Has Cupid had a direct hit on John? We will find out next week. But anyway, this is GM Steven
and Arn.
Shannon.
And again, thank you for listening to the podcast excuse me. Wow, it's been a night. Thank you for listening to the House Beyond the Supernatural podcast, and you all have a very good night. And cut!
God damn this mouse.
I know.
The mouse is stupid.
No, I know. Yeah.